with the quick elim there. 2 elims for himself so far, 54 players remaining. He's still in tilted, but this zone so far pushed west. Only 1 player alive right now, currently has 3 eliminations.
Those wheels. Now this next circle, Courage, is basically centered on that villain base, or Valhalla, the Viking village up on top of the mountain. So you kind of got Greasy on the edge, you've got Snobby on the edge, and the sports complex. But there's a lot of open area with just sprinkling of trees, which means you're going to see a lot of structures pop up as the main defense method to feed their poach, securing another elimination. We've got multiple players now. I believe Takada's at 3 elims. Wheels eliminated 53rd this game, but a handful of them still sitting on 2 eliminations. Chris, FPS, Lassius, Levake, and Sofa all have 2 eliminations and are still alive, which means 1 more for any of them. Is Amon's picking Snood off.
Gosh, Bartologist was on the receiving end of these explodes. Trying to survive on through. Does get a ton of damage down onto FPS. Thankfully for him, he's got minis. He's got a big shield. He can go ahead and get back up towards 120 HP. Bartologist will take the time to stop and medkit. And you see Blind trying to be the third party that engages on here. He's pushing forward. Blind can pay spoiler for both these players here. One on the opposite side of this wall. Been tagged once. There's the shots coming on in. First elim now for Blind. The second player peeking from above. Will this work out perfectly for Blind? You can't tell as of yet. To FPS at 121. That's a big tag with that heavy shotgun. Oh, out of the sky. As the crowd erupts there. That's his 3rd elim to FPS. Getting on the board.
A very good shot there on Blind on the way down. We've got Landjock rocking the power cord still. Trying to rotate his way inside. The Storm's going to push him 40 seconds roughly. 42 players remaining in this final game of the Summer Scrim.
AR ammo at 9.
Basically nothing.
Mats at basically nothing as well. This is, again, an all-in type play. When this zone closes, it'll begin hitting for 2 as well, and they still have a ways to go to reach safety. He's taking so much time for this.
This is it's a big play here for only a 2nd elimination. He probably should have stayed ahead and just kept moving with his zone, unless he was afraid of the player.
He's not even making a move on it. He's got to go.
Unless his opponent has some form to heal HP, this is going to be a wash potentially.
And he just launched or bounce padded up. And here, look, it's going to start hitting for 2. I mean, I don't think there's any way he makes this. Oh, gosh.
Chasing another player behind him.
He's just looking for the elim at this point. And don't get me wrong, this guy's totally weak, but this was not worth it.
Too high of a chance. Tendon is going to go down. Tendon's actually going to make it out of this scot-free. Landjock throws himself the fall damage at 10 HP. The head nod from Tendon saying, yeah, the Storm can have you, and I'm going to stay alive. This is a top-down view. Takada getting his 3rd elimination on Bandit for his point in the 7th match. Nibs dropping down. He's got a decent setup for weapons here. No splodes left, but he does have a chug jug, and he's going to take the 15 seconds right now.
Look at that build battle.
Now's the time to do it. He's got, and he just barely adjusts and stops it.
He moved a little bit too far, and now Levake will shoot him down. So
honestly, that adjustment might have saved him. The angle from that rocket, he scooted just barely down the stairs. The blast radius, he moved just outside of it. Didn't get the chug jug off, but I'd rather that than get eliminated.
It's going to be a greasy ending with the Valhalla/Viking village still in play on the top of that mountain. And he's going to stop again and try to chug jug. You see Liquid Chap just got eliminated. Rough day for Liquid Chap up to this point in regards to elims, but at 3 points, I think he still may have gotten himself near that top 20. We'll obviously check the full standings after this game is all said and done.
Ranger eliminated by the Storm as well in the feed there. 34 left, 30 seconds till the next circle. And we've got a big stack of players on the south and southeast edges of that mountain. That's a lot of players that are going to build up those little bases. In fact, we can see a top-down view of the minimap. I'm going to be honest with you, so many of these little arrows aren't even moving. They're just spinning in circles.
Yep. Everyone is more than content with just staying alive for this time. Takada already with 3, looking to add more limbs to his game. Here comes the zone. Once this one closes, the Storm will hit for 5. And that's when it really begins to start taking its victims.
There we go, the Storm's going to start to push. Very few players are still remaining outside the circle. Everyone's pretty much already established themselves. You see there on the left side of your screen. You got one player flying in from the east side, trying to get inside the safe zone, but there's not going to be a whole lot of gatekeeping. This is going to come down to the last few circles here, this final game.
Good catch from Takada, dropping on in. There's still this crate here. I'm wondering if someone tries to loot it.
I think that's what this push specifically was for. These shots, the shotgun shots and immediately catching yourself midair is incredibly fast gameplay.
Oh gosh, he's getting shot from a third party.
Storm 44. He can squeeze his way in here in just a second, depending on the position of the Storm. He doesn't really have a whole lot here. 289 metal left. That's not necessarily going to be enough to push his way in. Depends on the choice of this third player whether to continue to engage based on the damage.
End the campfire though.
And here you go. I was talking about it a second ago. These are all the little pods. Everyone's decided to build their apartment complex here, basically.
Play for the late game. Morgoth staying in. Everyone just sitting still. Tfue still in this game as well. Sam, Joystick, 31 players left. Look at the materials for Ghost Bizzle here too. Almost 1,400 to work with. Pretty solid spot, and he's got to like his inventory as well. He's got the rare drum gun, rare assault rifle. Obviously the tac shotgun may not be the best, but he's got 10 minis.
There you go, the next circle. Honestly, pretty much nobody inside, so everybody's going to have to rotate to that southwest edge. A bit of cliff play, some water, barely any water in play here of the next circle, but everybody's got to move. And Bizzle, along with a number of other players, are going to take the opportunity very early, get ahead of the rest of the crowd. Just over 60 seconds remaining. Third-party shots going to happen like that. Bizzle's got any player that rotates early is going to get tapped at. The goal there, people are looking for their first, second, even third elimination, trying to get as many points as they can. But man, early movement, getting ahead of the game, especially as we've watched these games develop over the course of the day, it's always paid off. Poach, player we've had our eyes on quite a bit, hiding down here underneath. They have those catacombs, a number of different little compartments to hide in, making it more difficult for his opponents to track him as he moves. Bizzle rotating back in. He's going to run potentially into Poach's structure here, probably to his front left in just a second, depending on his decision to keep moving. He's going to build up right at the edge of the zone. A great choice, too. He has a chance now to look out any windows he can edit and just take pop shots if he has enough ammo. People, Merchman getting Elastis in the feed with a fall 28 meters. Looks like he dropped out a structure that had been built up. And here you go. The very edge, we got a little bit of water in here, but Kutrain getting shot at by Morgoth, one of our leaders.
See, now the question is Nate Hill still alive? Because we know Morgoth and Nate Hill were kind of two of the top fighting for those spots.
First and second before this.
Morgoth still in this. No points are in this game, though.
30 players remaining.
Takada gets dropped so low on HP. He's having to bandage. Sam just sitting right on the edge of that mountain. Looks like someone's flying through the air trying to drop on down. Everyone's going to have to get off that mountain now. 30 players left in our final game of the summer skirmish. Again, when this game is over, things will be calculated, and we will know where everyone stacks up to see what chunk of the prize money they'll be taking home of the 1.5 million. Now, if you're wondering what these fast edits are, he's basically letting the metal repair so we can see through it for moments like this. Quickly edits out, makes a window, edits out again.
Tfue in the feed, eliminating Takada, one of our higher elimination players this game. FPS getting sprayed from the side. He's got the layer because there's multiple players in here. I believe the one he was just shooting it was spinning like a top.
Got a second to live. That was on the base soldier. 28 players left now.
Morgoth's trying to establish his third elim. This is FPS with 5.
Morgoth again
does get the third elimination on FPS. That's a point for him. Ripmate here hanging out on the very edge of the circle. And the feed tendons takes Strugs out. Gorilla gets Fulmer from TB.
Morgoth gets another. So 4 limbs for Morgoth. Expanding on the lead he had. It's going to take some incredible performances at the end of this to potentially dethrone him. Here's a look at everybody right now. Morgoth's close, I believe, towards obviously even more points in top 10. Poach moving into this next zone.
You've got a number of players close to the cliff, too, building up towers. They have top-down views of pretty much everything. You can wait and bide their time. We had just for a second there, I believe Fade was up on the outside. You see Tfue moving in the back corner. 23 left, 35 seconds. Very fast builds, trying to establish basically any structure he can.
Oh, no. It's a heavy tag. Down to just 78 health. And again, that audible You can tell when the shields are gone. That's Envy Gorilla, who he's in a build battle with right now. Both players could be further from the zone, which could be their downfall in the next few moments as the zone begins to move. Coming down to our final couple circles. Psalm dropping down. He finally just left his little huts that he's been in forever, it seems. Marksman still in this as well. Ghost Bizzle still with a decent amount of materials.
Here we go. The storm's starting to move. You've got only a handful of players outside the zone, including one flying in right now. I believe there's 3 or 4 more that still need to get inside the safe zone. So everyone else of the 23 players, the rest of the field is already established inside the safe zone. So players like Poach, you see, they're going to take tap shots at anybody they catch moving because it's the count of players that's going to be is very low.
Remember, only top 10 earn an extra point. There's a look at everybody moving. Psalm gets dropped on down. Tendons is one shot as well. Fade still keeping the high ground at max HP. Morgoth now at 5 elims.
Fade picking up an elimination. The feed, that high ground advantage paying off there. Morgoth 5 elims trying to push up top.
Gotta stop and use this slurp.
This will cap him off if he gets the entire slurp takes. He'll be back to 100-100.
Morgoth is hungry, looking for more. The next zone about to be in play. Joystick still playing the high ground. You got C9 Kriz there as well. Marksman around the middle of those builds. Looking at weak tendons.
Morgoth took a little bit of damage in there. Use the campfire to try and push up his HP so that the slurp, like we talked about before, it takes up your HP first. It refills that and then switches over to shield. But his hope was to try and get every single point he could out of it.
Joystick won in this game. Top 19 right now. Everyone moving. Poach using as little materials as possible. The sign of a great player, making sure he makes the most of all these late game builds. He's basically positioned himself perfectly for this next zone as he begins the builds. Everyone having to move. He's got one just in front of him. It's Morgoth of all people. 72 hours nearby as well. Poach inching forward, gets tagged heavy. He'll place a trap too. Come on, run on in if you'd like.
18 players left, 10 seconds till this thing closes, and then we find out what direction they're going to have to go next. Morgoth, 5 eliminations still.
Look at his inventory. 860 bolts in a minigun.
Ridiculous.
He can spray this forever.
Almost gets caught off guard. The edit there, bit back just a little bit. He's very low on materials now. Only 20 hours left.
Just got dropped by the storm. More fights going on around.
14 players.
14 players remaining. It all comes down to this. You see it. Look at everybody.
Fade going down to the bottom of the screen. 13 players left.
Kriz goes down to Cease. Marksman's still alive. Tifu's still up as well. Poach just hiding in his little box, and Triz the most HP left in the lobby at max 200. Morgoth has so much firepower, but not a lot of materials and shields. It's making him have to second guess these decisions.
11 players left. The final match, Game 7 of the Summer Skirmish. In the rotation, everybody's got to go west.
Everyone's got to move. Here we go, folks. It's all going to develop quickly.
Right in front of
Morgoth. Tries to hit the shot. Nothing as of yet. Turns the corner. Spraying on down with the drum gun. The storm at his back. He's only got one direction he can go, and that is forward. He breaks the wall, looking to reload this double barrel. We know how lethal this can be as he moves close. There's the shot on the Tifu. Cease with the trade. 8 now left as everyone's pushing forward. Cease gets dropped by Bizzle. 7 players left are on the edge of this tower. One falls. There goes Sofa as he took a tumble. Poach down low, playing the low ground. Triz trying to pop this big shield. These are our final players left. All the weeks of competition leading to this point. 6 players remaining. Marksman with the most health drops on down. That's actually Poach, who I believe is spraying at him right now. Marksman could have a big game on his hands. He's had a pretty quiet day up to this point, but this could solve it all right here. One more limb would guarantee him another point as well. He doesn't have a lot of materials. He's using them sparingly. One player in the house, that's Poach. You got Coop Tree all the way up top. Spray down coming in. Poach with another limb. He's now at 3, which will earn him another point. Could Poach be making a sneaky move? Oh! Goes through the doors. He closes it. Marksman sneaks on in. That's another point. He's down to just 12 HP. Only gets a quick little tag there. Top 3 now. Coop Train, Triz, and Ghost Bizzle. This is it. Remember, Victory Royale is a $25,000 prize. Coop Train has bandages. He's playing the high ground. Triz couldn't have less HP. wondering if Coop Train knows this. He's trying to make a bounce pad play. Nothing as of yet. Coop Train trying to keep this high ground. He flies into the storm. He'll die to the storm. 1 versus 1. Coop Train from the high ground, dropping on down. This is it. The final zone is closing. Who will win the $25,000? Here he goes. He's got 1 layer on him. Will it be a heel off? No, he gets in his face. Oh my God! Ghost Bizzle. $25,000 richer. You thought he had it. You thought he had it, but here it is from Ghost Bizzle's perspective. How weak was he? How weak was he? Oh no, this could be heartbreaking. This could be heartbreaking. 26 left. That was 5 limbs and a victory royale. That'll put him with a nice 5-point game right there and $25,000. I'll tell you right now, Ghost Bizzle just made himself a hell of a lot richer. Life-changing amount of money, $1.5 million on the line. Here's everyone down there waiting. You see standing, hoping to see where they stack up.
The nerves right now have to be at an all-time high, especially some of these players that know that they were very close to either moving up or down on the leaderboards compared to other players.
Yep. And I believe it'll pop up on their screen, so they'll be able to see exactly where they are. Again, remember, 21st through 100th, they all walk home with $5,000. Once they get to top 20, you begin to see, I think, that's still
Vape Jesus.
Vape Jesus with the Black Knight helmet on. Which is an interesting hairdo. I think it's... Look at Nick Merckx there talking with everybody. Aiden on your screen. So there you go, $5,000. Hey, congratulations. That's still darn good for a weekend of Fortnite. As we'll wait to see more live reactions. I think the difference in prize money, what, from his 10th is like 11,700, or sorry, 20th is like 11,700 something.
And as soon as you kick into the top 5, 6 figures, 100,000
And look, getting a picture for himself.
Oh, yeah.
You love to see it. People still waiting to see. If it hasn't been revealed yet, at this point they know, hey, I think I've won a little bit more than just that, right? Because they're kept in the dark down there throughout the majority of this.
And we'll have an official list for everybody, too, in case you, I mean, obviously you're not going to catch necessarily everything on people's screens as they rotate around in the room. People are waiting to find out. They want to make sure every single calculation is done appropriately. They don't want to. The last thing you want to see, Courage, is an incorrect number for something like this.
Yes, right. You won two. No, you didn't. You won 5,000. Sorry, you did not win an extra 220 grand. But no, we'll wait and see how it all plays on out. Some smiles around there now. I think people are beginning to realize more and more they've got more money won. I think Nick maybe gets a laughing in. There you go, $11,250 for those top 20 spots. We'll see some live reactions here. Pretty darn good as people clap it on up. I believe that's what Nick will wind up taking on home. Fantastic performance from him coming on in, qualifying last night, playing today, placing top 20. If you're Nick Merckx, you got to be pretty darn proud. And there you go, the quick little flex to the camera. Proud of himself on that one.
Now keep in mind, they're going to show the final list eventually, but obviously they don't want to get out ahead of the players that are down there waiting to hear firsthand on their own. You don't want to give it away before even the players themselves know, you know. Right. You got to wait till the last second there. But
so I believe that was 16th through 20th just revealed. Moving forward, should have possibly 11th through 15th, I'm assuming. Good sportsmanship high five from Nick to Aiden there.
What a story over the course of the day,
right?
Those two.
And look, they're getting pictures, everybody's sharing it. It's a big moment. These guys have been putting a ton of time to this game. Ghost Bizzle waiting right there, wanting to see where he stacks up. And now you're getting to a point, Lupo, where you look at this going, wait, oh, okay, I still haven't seen myself.
My name has not shown up yet.
I'm getting up there with money.
I feel like I'd be the guy down there, Jack, just spinning in my chair.
Oh, well, I would have been hungry after all these games, so I probably would have had like a ham and cheese sandwich, maybe a bag of barbecue chips.
I'll take some Durburger over here.
Oh, no, for sure. I would have absolutely been eating already in the player area. Worth it, though, as everyone's still waiting. I think a lot of people not wanting the weekend to end because they've all had such a good time.
I don't blame them. It's been a fantastic 4 days watching some of the best gameplay we've ever seen in Fortnite. And this is, like we've said a million times, this is just the beginning. There's going to be so much more on the way from Epic.
So much.
The competitive scene is only getting started, and seeing even non-competitive players, or players that aren't necessarily tied to an organization like a team or anything like that, seeing those names rise above is fantastic.
Oh, 100%. It's a lot of new names have been built. I can tell you right now, more people know about Aiden now than I think before this weekend. It's safe to say 22,500, the next leap in prize money. As we'll wait to see maybe a couple of the reactions of who won some of that. Uh-oh, Ghost Bizzle still he hasn't got an update quite yet. So he's waiting to see what his screen shows.
I can only imagine if you're at home too. I'm sure you're getting stir crazy waiting for these just as much as the players are. $180,000.
Wow. I guess we leaped on up there as we revealed the top 10. And look at the reactions. I believe. Is that our winner right there?
You might be looking at.
Is that our winner? I believe that is our winner on our screen. More
$225,000.
A life-changing amount of money.
It's going to take him a bit to process exactly what he's seeing on his screen.
That is what we call shock, people.
Oh, yeah.
Plus the victory earlier. Remember the victory royale, another 25 grand. He's
running away.
Yes, he's looking for security. As he needs, with that much money, he needs some protection. As there, look, you see the claps form now. Congratulations to all our competitors on an incredible performance. My goodness, we'll get a full standings breakdown for you all, but he doesn't even know what to do. He doesn't even know what to do, and I don't blame him. You come into a weekend thinking, hey, maybe I can go there and qualify. Sure, I'll travel on over. Oh, I made it through the heats. I got to play in the Oh, I made it into the finals.
No, I got to touch base on this.
Oh, I just won $250,000.
You got to remember, this is the same guy that in the middle of his interview, like a quick shout out to FaZe. So Banks is going to have his eyes on that man for sure.
I'm telling you right now. People are making phone calls. There's enough of the FaZe guys here to probably pick him up and take him without whether he wants it or not. We'll just bring him back to the houses there in Los Angeles that they have. But congratulations to all our competitors. We still have a massive crowd here. And while we wait for the final standings, can we get a round of applause, please, for all our competitors this week? Absolutely. Great competition through and through. You see the aftermath of the beanbags. What a setup we've had here. Props to everyone from Epic who set up this venue. Brilliantly done. As, now we just wait to get the final list and then sign off for the week. What an honor it's been.
What do we do after this?
I don't know. I think we just go and like eat something. But I keep talking about food. But Zeke, you got something you're doing. What's Zeke gonna do this time? Oh, he's got our winner. Guys. Let's get it.
Margassi. You not only came away early with the victory route for $25K, but you walk away the #1. Now, I mean, we just saw you run around. I mean, you've got to have a ton of thoughts in your head. Can you maybe just like try to put anything into words to describe what you're feeling right now?
Besides pure awe, I mean, like I came into this weekend thinking that I was going to play all 3 qualifiers and not even make it to finals, but from that to go into I was in line, and I had no PAX badge, and I had to go get one, and then I came back, and it's just a whole thing. But I want to say thank you to everybody that supported me, especially my parents. I did it, you know?
I mean, you talked about it early in the interview. You've sacrificed so much time and put all this time into your play, and you show up with a stellar performance. I mean, so not only earlier did you say, hey, Mom and Dad, look, I won a victory, I won $25K. Now you get to say, hey, Mom and Dad, I won everything. I've won $250K. What do you think? How are they feeling?
They're probably screaming in the living room right now with my brothers just absolutely going wild. I can only imagine.
Now, what does this money mean to you as a player, dude? I mean, you literally show up and you're like, I'm just going to play PAX. Maybe I'll make it. Maybe I'll get 5K. You win, and you're just like, life?
I don't think that I've processed how much $250,000 is yet.